it's printing time. The first thing that you're going to do on your background paper is you are going to write your first name and your last name and your teacher's name on one side, and then that becomes back side. Obviously, I'd still write my teacher's name on there, and you're writing that in pencil. Now, once you have that done, you are ready to go. Now, this is the foam that I did last week, and actually, I'm glad this is not completely done. The first thing you're going to do this week is, if you did not completely finish going over all of your lines in your foam, you're going to make sure that all of your lines are down into that foam completely in there. So I'm just going over our last few lines. Remember, these are incised lines, and boop. All right, now I'm ready. So I'm removing that tape, removing my drawing off, and setting that aside. I can actually go ahead and I can throw this away at this point, or I could keep it if I wanted to. Now, working on this paper towel, I'm going to try to fit everything in this screen. Really, your materials are going to be spread out a lot more. Now, your color choices for your inks are going to be red, blue, and black. So I'm going to start with this red. If you're using red at all, you're going to start with the red. If you're using black at all, you're going to use black last. So notice that I am spreading this ink out in a very thin layer, because if you have too much ink on your print, then that ink will go down into your lines, and you don't want that, and that won't print the image. Now, this little roller right here is called a brayer, and this is actually a bench hook, so this goes on the edge of the table. I'm just holding it here for you to see, because the screen won't fit the edge of my table right there. So now, on top of my paper towel, I'm going to go ahead and roll this out. Now, artists, that's not ready to print, because you can see how it's light around the edges. I need to make sure that I have a solid area of color over the entire piece of foam. So now, looking at that foam, I can see that that's a solid coating of red paint, or red ink, excuse me. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place this in one of my corners and do my best job. Now, once I set it down, even if it's not perfectly straight, I've got to leave it. I don't want to move it around and have it smear. Now, this is our bigger brayer. And what you're going to do with your bigger brayer is you are going to press down and roll. Press down and roll, nice and easy. Just a couple times. Now, I'm going to go ahead and lift up. And voila, there's my print. I'm going to do a second one with red. So I'm going to go ahead, get that ink on that brayer, and roll it out again. Now I see a nice even layer in there again. So I want to do kind of checkerboard style. I want to do my same colors opposite corners. You don't have to do it like that. It's up to you. So I'm placing it down. Once again, I'm getting my big brayer and pressing down and rolling just a couple times. Now I'm ready to lift up, and voila. So here I go with my two red. I'm going to jump over now, and I'm going to do my blue ink. Now, the nice thing about going in this order with the colors is I don't have to wash this off in between. So I'm getting my brayer, and I'm going to spread out that blue ink again before I put it onto my foam, because I don't want to have too much ink on there. This is nice. This blue is a little bit stickier than that red, and that's cool. That's a good thing. So I'm just going ahead and putting my blue straight on top. Now, knowing our color mixing, you might see a little bit of purple kind of happening a little bit as you initially put the blue onto that red. So now I see a nice even layer of that blue. I'm going to go ahead and set it down as carefully as I can. Grabbing the big brayer, rolling back again, picking it up, and voila, awesome. So I'm going to go with my last print. So guys, I'm really just repeating the same steps 4 times for you to see. We are done, voila. So I've got my 4 prints. At this time, now I can finally go over to the sink, rinse this off. It is going to be stained, guys, so you're not going to get it back to that perfectly white foam again, and that's okay. Then you can take this home, and you can do at home, anywhere else, as many prints as you want from the same piece of foam. This is pretty awesome. You could use smelling markers to do watercolor prints if you wanted to, or you could get some more printmaking ink, or you could even try to see if you could use some paint that stays nice and wet. So this is a really cool thing to hold on to. And of course, this is now going to be one of our choices for the art show the night evening in the garden. Thanks for watching, guys.